Hello friends, Joe here at Reverb. As we all know, in the past few months, a storm has taken us by surprise and fundamentally changed the way we feel, the way we think, the way we work. These changes are present in probably every corner of our society and most certainly in the world of musicians. First of all, as we know, tours were canceled across the board. Artists whose entire livelihoods are centered around playing live shows and making records all of a sudden couldn't do that anymore. So work from home became the only way to work.
What a strange time. I mean, we were supposed to be out on the road promoting our new record all of this spring.
We were supposed to be in Australia right now, headed to New Zealand, headed to Japan, and then to Europe for like a 30-show headline run across Europe. So I would say that we've had to alter a creative process a lot because we are unable to promote this record in the traditional sense of taking it to the people. We are a very do-it-yourself organization here at Larkin Poe headquarters. We started our own record label in 2017, and we've been self-producing the last few records. And so being unable to actually physically carry this out and play shows for people, it's a big shift.
Yeah, we've definitely had to get creative.
Yeah, think outside the box. We have spent more time on the internet than we ever have in our history as a band, as individuals. We've been doing video series. We've been doing live streams. Yeah, we have a Tip of the Hat video series on YouTube. We cover songs from our childhood, some of our favorite tracks, kind of cover them in the Larkin Poe style. Yeah.
And we've been doing this for a couple of years.
Yeah.
But we actually have had way more time recently to devote to making more and more videos.
Right, because no touring, no shows. So, I mean, yeah, like the universe throws punches and you roll with them. We don't get to play a rock show in Switzerland or somewhere in the UK. So instead, we're going to be doing live streams on Veeps.com, live from Megan's guest bedroom.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a bunch of stuff canceled. I had a lot of gigs planned that were for this summer and a couple tours that I'm now not doing, which is a huge bummer. But I think as artists, we also need to be creative in the business sense where we need to find other sources of income and, diversify our portfolios as far as our career as well. So doing a lot more recording, writing with people, producing other people's songs and records. It's kept me busy, and yeah, it's actually been good. It's way different than I had planned, of course, but it's been okay.
We would have been wrapping up our French tour right now. Obviously that didn't happen and everything is uncertain, but it's been a really great project, and he wants to show it off. He wants to do shows. So, fingers crossed that we are allowed to do that. But regardless, it's been a beautiful experience. So
I'm working with an iPhone and two acoustic guitars, a pedal board, 3 amps, but I do have a Moog 1 keyboard, or Moog, as you might say. What it's done is I've got to find a setup once we're out of isolation, because I've kind of wanted to outsource the engineering aspect of it, because I don't like computers and, doing that and playing and then doing that. It's never agreement. And some people are brilliant at it. And Tom is brilliant. Tom is amazing at computers and music. And I've always felt, rubbish in comparison. I did buy about a year ago, I bought a second-hand radar system for recording. And Adrian Utley from Portishead turned me onto it. And he said a lot of the Portishead stuff is done on radar. I'm now dreaming up the studio, what I should be building once lockdown finishes.
So how did these artists adjust to a new process? For Yvette Young, one of the pursuits she tackled was making lesson videos.
We did have our entire summer headliner postponed which is kind of a bummer because it was two bands that I really loved who were international, and also a bummer because they applied for the visa and then everything got shut down and they can't get a refund for their visa and they can't move the period. So we're trying to figure out a way maybe we can like help them crowdfund to replace the cost of that. And what I've been really doing is making video lessons for everyone. So I like talk about a general concept or like how to use a thing, like how to use a delay, like basic delay tutorial for people who've never used delay. And it's kind of awesome because I feel like it forces, whenever you have to teach a concept, it forces you to be an expert on it. Like you have to really back up every reason why you do something. I feel like sometimes if you're like doing one thing for too long, you kind of get like locked into your ways and you go on autopilot. But then when confronted with, so why did you do that? You're like, I never thought about why I do that. And then like you have to go and retroactively analyze why you do something and explain it.
Whereas for Radiohead's Ed O'Brien, who was actually recovering from the virus, there were obviously more dire needs to address before creativity could take root again.
I don't want to sound dramatic, but I've been getting over the virus itself. So I haven't felt creative, but once the promo's done, and next week I'm going to start getting up early, and I'm going to start. I feel the itch of it. There's something that happens, and I'm recognizing because I'm still a novice at this. I suddenly go, I can't wait. I can't wait to get up early. I can't wait to get up at 6:30 and spend the morning doing this. So yeah, I feel this is a really good time to be writing.
Now, getting creative from home must be influenced by many factors, right? I mean, work ethic, mental state, the kind of space you have at home, and as we all know, what kind of gear you have around. For some artists, like Cory Wong, working from home feels right at home.
I do a lot of recording from home. I do a lot of writing at home. I do a lot of remote recording for other people and remote producing. So I was producing a record for somebody, finished that. Then it was like, oh, I have a bunch of other tasks I can do. I'm going to mix this record that John Batiste and I did. Oh, maybe we should put out this record. I was also doing a vinyl campaign for my Cory Wong and Metropole Orchestre album, so that kept me busy. Then I started playing my acoustic guitar a lot more because my acoustic instruments are all around me, and started messing with that and started writing a bunch and recording a bunch of acoustic music to basically stay creatively energized. Because for me, creativity, the more I'm creative, the more creative I get. It's like a flower or a vine that continues to just grow rather than a gas tank that empties. And really, I find myself more and more emptied when I just let it subside. You know, like a muscle going into atrophy or something. Not that I go into a creative atrophy if I don't have some creative time, but I just know that my creative muscle is much stronger when I continue to work it.
And it turns out some artists don't really need too much gear to keep moving with stuff.
We're kind of a two-man show, so if we have two guitars, even just one amplifier and a couple of cables to plug in, we are good to go. We have been kind of hip-hopping between Megan's house and my house to write or to record new covers or to hang out and make stuff. But an essential part of the Larkin Poe traveling creative rig from home 2.0 is, of course, new addition, a selfie stick. Because
man. Game changer.
During quarantine, when you can't be around photographers or even around your buddies to snap some shots for you, that's when you get real and you get a selfie stick.
And one of the singles we needed to make a music video for it.
Yes.
And of course we can't get a crew of people together to make a video, so we did it ourselves. And we used the iPhone and the cameras that we have available, and we made it, and Rebecca edited it. So, you know, you can do it yourself if you really need to. You get creative.
Get creative.
A quarantine situation naturally provides opportunities to learn more about gear and probably more about yourself as well.
Now that I'm like, whoa, like everything's canceled, that means I finally have time to like start writing, recording, and, you know, it's opened a lot of new windows for me, and it's felt awesome being like, whoa, I can like actually utilize this time to learn a new skill. One thing I also learned is downtime and reflecting and taking time to like reset is productive, because you know, you can't be efficient if you're just constantly working. You got to take breaks. So I think for some people this time, productivity means really looking, this is going to sound so cheesy, but looking within, and also, and seeing like, oh, you know, what do I need? Like, what do I actually want? What do I actually like?
I totally agree.
Yeah. I've taken some time to do that as well, and it's been awesome. Like, I feel like I'm back to myself.
But beyond these initial adjustments of working from home and streamlining the process, I wanted to talk to these artists about moving forward and some of these bigger questions. What do we take from this? Are we trying to return to something, or are we pursuing something new altogether?
Be smart, be safe, try to incorporate creativity into your routine, but don't beat yourself up if you're not feeling particularly inspired at the moment, but to just, you know, take it as it comes and know that there are brighter days ahead.
That's been like my North Star, I feel like, through this whole time, is just like, yeah, okay, remember that you're not writing because you got labels putting deadlines on you, and you're not, you know, making things because money. You're doing it because you love to do it. And I feel like that's just, I think that's why I wake up excited every day.
I would say the light at the end of the tunnel is getting back out on the road and playing shows. We're so proud of this new record that we made. Our last record, Venom and Faith, got nominated for a Grammy in the blues category, and that was such an honor and such an exciting time leading into the making of this album. And I think this album, we've definitely believed in ourselves and felt empowered to really be like the most raw and authentic versions of ourselves.
But in the meantime, there will be new music. This record comes out June 12th. We're really proud of it, so we can't wait for people to hear all of the tracks.
You know, it's a great leveling what's going on, and you realize the important things that are going on, the important things in life. So things like, you know, hierarchies of, you know, or people holding up people in bands, you know, with, this stuff is not important anymore. We're human beings, and I've always really resonated with that. It's just like, I've always felt slightly uncomfortable with, you know, when people think that you're doing something really magic and treat you differently. It's like, this is my journey on this. This is my journey at this time. This is our journey. You know, this is just what we do. And it's no better, no worse than what anyone else does. Where do we want to go? We need new dreams. And I think to get people talking is really important, to get people, you know, anyway, that's what I want to do. And on a musical thing, I'd like to do something that would involve some kind of heightened experience of like bringing a gig through here with high res audio, maybe some visuals, doing something live, because I think the nature of us as bands and touring, unfortunately, is going to change quite a lot. I think, you know, for a British artist like myself, the opportunities come over to America will be less and less. I think it'll happen, and I so want it to happen, but I think the realities of it might be very different. So yeah, I feel like it's an important time to engage with your community, my community.
This was fascinating for me, having these conversations with these artists and getting to know a little bit more about how they're adjusting in this time. How are you adjusting? How are you working from home? How's your process? Any artists out there who have discovered any tips or tricks, we'd love to hear about them. I hope everybody's doing well, and in the words of Ed O'Brien, good luck in isolation and with the future. Thanks for watching. See you next time.